Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. This is Alicia with Alicia's Creative Paradise, and I'm so happy to be back, and I just couldn't help but jump on and do a video on these really pretty puffy envelopes. And I really like the vintage envelopes, and so I had seen some people have digitals of these envelope fronts in their Etsy. So I purchased some, and I was wanting them to look like they were mailed to someone, opened, and just stuck in a drawer somewhere. You know, like something you would find in an estate sale at a desk. And so I thought about it and I started playing around, and so I want to show you what I figured out on how to make these into puffy, vintage looking, beautiful envelopes. So like this one here, I did put a paper bag. I didn't have a match to the back of this one, and it was already torn like this in the digital. So you can find other pieces of paper to put on the back. And this, I just made it into a little tuck spot back here. But I also used sewing pattern paper on the inside. And this is what this one looks like. And then this one here. That beautiful greenish blue color. And then there's this one here. This one turned out nice and fluffy. And I just put some newsprint inside of here. And then there's the big one here. And just some coffee dyed paper in there. Okay, so then I also thought, how can I decorate these to make them look even more beautiful? But I want to show you, and I'll be doing a video on this. This is a design team journal that I made for Sweet Pea Curiosities design team. And I need to do a video and some pictures on this, and that's coming up. I do have to work today, so I just couldn't help but get on and do this video. But after work, or in a day or so, I'll come back and do a flip through of this, or maybe sooner if I can. But here's one of the envelopes, and I just put a ribbon, some seam binding on there, and stuck it in this journal, and it really does make the journal look really pretty. So these will help make junk journals look really pretty. So I did put some trim on the end of this one. I don't know if you can see how pretty that is. This is a smaller scale. And then this one here, I put two little stones, and I put this trim around it. You can see on the back. Next time I'm going to do a better job on the gluing, but I wanted to throw it together. And I also had this for a long time, so I took a paintbrush, and this one here, and I just wet it with water and dipped it in some of the paint, and then sprinkled some of this distress paint. It's ground espresso, and you can see the little dots. It just gives it a more vintagey look. I really like that. And then I'm also excited because every time I go to the thrift store, and you probably see the same thing if you go thrift shopping, you probably see this laying in a box. Well, don't pass it up, because I have another video coming I finally figured out, because this was in a bag. I wouldn't have picked this up and chose it because I really have never known what to do with raffia, which it's paper ribbon is what they call it. But I just didn't have an interest in it because I was like, what am I going to do with that? So I said, you know, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure out what to do with this. And so I'm going to show you a little sneak peek of what my idea is on this. So I took some of it and I made this little bow. I put the trim and then I put a little stone. And then I started playing even more and started a carnation. So this is all paper ribbon. And I think it looks really pretty. So I'm excited about that. And I have also made a couple more of these little bows. And they're so easy and so cute. I just love these. Another thing that I got, oh, and here's my little haul of little stones from Hobby Lobby and some little tiny flowers. So, let's see, what else was I gonna tell you? Oh, I forgot what I was gonna say. I'll figure it out in a minute. Oh yeah. So, I don't know if y'all know how expensive these are, but I scored a whole bag of these, and I mean, they're so expensive at a lot of thrift stores. Look at all of this that I got. It is amazing, and I got it for just a couple of dollars. I mean, what a haul, huh? I'm gonna have to share some of this with my sisters and my mom, but I love this one right here. Ooh, that's pretty. And these are so vintage. They have it almost looks like they've been dipped in coffee. So I really love these so much. I can't wait to start applying these to ephemera. So that was part of my haul. I also got a giant haul of postcards, envelopes, and some of these don't have any words, so you can just put them right on your ephemera. And a lot of them are vintage. Most of them are vintage. Like this right here. I know some of you probably remember these, but I was gonna think about making some washi tape with this, and I was going to put this on the back, this double-sided tape, and just make some vintage looking tape with this color. All right, so there's those ideas, and then I have some envelopes that I've picked out, and if you get the digital, I'll put the digitals that I purchased in the description box below. But if you have some that don't have a matching back, all you have to do is just size them to each other. Just make them fit, because you'll see that you're going to want your paper sticking out the edge for that added vintage effect. So here's some that we're going to work on in this video. And I've already started one, and I'm using a paper bag, and these paper bags I got at the Family Dollar. And so the other thing that you'll need is a glue stick and a ruler and some sewing pattern paper, tissue paper, paper bag, whatever you want to use that you want sticking out. So all I do is tear these around the edges. And on whatever side you want open, whether it's the top or the side, you want to leave some hanging off. So I'm going to leave that, and I'm just going to tear the other edges. So then when you put the envelopes on, you want to always make sure that you put them on where when it's closed, that it looks like the real envelope. So I put this upside down, this facing up and this upside down, because you can see where the envelope is. And all we do is just fold it like this. And you want the ragged edge. And you can make it stick out as far as you want to, whatever your preference is. And then I just take and go like this. Because we're going to fold that in to secure it to where when you're putting things in and out, it doesn't rip or anything like that. So all right, I need a little more glue here. You don't have to worry about it too much, because I take mine to the sewing machine and then I sew around it for strength. So then I just fold these in and I let it stick out a little bit. I'm going to let it hang over the edge. It does not have to be perfect. That's the awesome thing about this. You do not have to be perfect. I do recommend gluing these flaps down pretty good so they don't, you know, work their way out and prevent you from getting things in and out. And this will have to dry. So while this is drying, we'll put this one together. And this time I'm going to use some onion skin paper. How fun. So all I need to do is place where I want these, and that looks like that's how it's supposed to go. And I'll have it open from this side this time. So all I need to do is use my glue stick, go around the edges here, and place it down. And I want to tear the edges, so I'm going to go ahead and leave some space to tear, because I like the way it looks when you tear it with the ruler. It just makes it look that much more raggedy and vintagey. Okay, so I think this is how it goes. And I want to get pretty close here. I want some of it sticking out the top too. So you can put these as close or as far away as you want to, depending on how you want it to look. Okay, so this one is glued down. And then I want to take my ruler and I want to tear a ragged edge. And the thicker the paper, the more fluffy your envelope. So over here, I want to leave some sticking out. Okay, and then I want to fold it. and then cut my little flaps. And then I'm going to glue it. Okay. We'll see how this onion skin paper does. It's pretty thin, which is fun. And you also get the crinkle sound. If people like that. I think most of us junk journal ladies and people like the crinkle sound. And so then this should be dry. So I'm going to take it over here to my sewing machine, and I'm going to sew around the edges. That this side is going to be open, so I'm just going to sew around the edges here. And let me do that real quick. This is really a fast process. You can make so many of these in a short amount of time. And you can use whatever stitch you want. So I'll just use the zigzag on this one. Okay, and that was that easy. Now, it is optional to sew around after you folded it in half. You can sew around it before and then just glue it shut, but I feel like the sewing gives it some added strength. And you can do it both ways. Either way is fine. So I'm going to, this is still just a little bit wet, which is okay. And look how this is. It's so awesome. The sound of the paper bag, the wrinkles, everything. It looks really, really awesome. So the next thing I do is I decide, do I want pink or brown? Let's do pink. Let's see how this looks. This is my pink Tattered Rose Distress Oxide. Oh, that's so pretty. I love the pink and brown together. Okay, and let's do a little bit, make it a little darker on the edges. Make it look real vintage. All right. So then all I'm going to do is just put something in here to keep it from closing shut on me because the glue is still drying. So I think what I'll do is I'll just put my ruler in here for now. And then this can be decorated. And then this one still drying. I can go ahead and ink it up. That doesn't match. I think the pink goes better with the bluish green color, not a yellowy color. So all I would do is just take this to the sewing machine, like this one, sew it up, and then decorate it. Okay. So now, I'm just going to open this back up and let it dry. Set it aside. And let's go ahead and decorate this one real quick. Put this on there. And it's blue. See, I'll put it on this side. And then, oh, that looks so cute. And then let's put a stone on there. Let's bedazzle it. If I can get one out of here. There we go. A little bit of glue. You can also use a hot glue gun. That would be much faster. And there you go. Isn't that pretty? It's so pretty. I hope you like this video. This will be all for now. And I have a lot more ideas with the paper ribbon and the envelopes and the trim. And so I'll be back with those ideas. I'm so glad to be back. And just remember, if you think you've lost your creative groove, don't worry, it'll come back. Because it's happened to me. It will be back. Because once you're creative, you're always going to be creative. So just to encourage you to keep going and don't give up. And I'll see you on the next video. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll be back. Bye.